So today I would like to share about one of our flagship community program called Sit to Textile and how we make use of this program to connect our textile heritage to everyone. Before I start, I would like to just give a very quick introduction of CHAT, which stands for Center for Heritage Arts and Textile. We are located in one of the first industrial hubs of Hong Kong called Tsuen Wan, which Tsuen Wan also have a nickname in the 60s called Little Manchester. So you can imagine it was used to be a hub for different kinds of industrial and manufacturing activities. And we were founded in 1954, while this period of time from the 60s to the 70s, textile manufacturing is the largest manufacturing industry, which employing 30% of workforce in Hong Kong. This particular building was run as a cotton spinning mills, but then it was ceased to function in 2008 and took us 10 years to renovate it. And today, everyone knows that, and as one of the landmark in Hong Kong, we are one of the iconic cultural and heritage complex in Hong Kong. So today we look like this, and in the center of Tsuen Wan, we're actually compiling of three pillars. First of all, of course, including CHATS, which is a non-profit making museum occupying the entire second floor. At the same time, our neighbor's Fabrica is a textile incubator and co-working space, providing resources, technology, and funding supports to designers and entrepreneurs. Last but not least, many locals also know us as a mall, which we provide experiential retail shopping experiences, well, particularly we selected tenants who are mostly based in Hong Kong or small businesses that originated from Hong Kong. Well, for CHAT, as a core component of the mills, we are a place for lifelong learning and as the only textile heritage museum in Hong Kong. So we started in 2019 March, and we offer a new knowledge while nurturing ideas and talents through exhibitions, workshops, and community programs, including workshops, guided tours, and diverse participatory-based experiences. We also target to be inclusive museums, so we try to engage diverse range of participants and audiences, including students or differently able people. And among which we try to commit to preserve local, tangible, and intangible textile heritage. So all of our plannings and programming are trying to invite everyone to be part of the co-curation process. We use the heritage and power of textile to connect with people and trying to evoke the imagination and creativity by fostering the future generation on the imagination of what is well-being and why it is important and related to textile. For instance, on this image you can see here, it was one of the programs that we hosted during the City Textile program, while we invite a lot of local elderlies to join us in a dance workshops, and they can enjoy the dance workshop in the middle of our gallery. While you can also see that they are now using some textile as the props for the dance move as well. So I think this picture really speaks about our DNA and how we try to engage our participants in a very diverse and interdisciplinary way. Well, of course, today I would like to focus on our flagship community program called Sit to Textile. From the name itself, you can already imagine it is related to the nature and how it connected to our everyday life. So the origin of this program began with a special gift that CHAT received in 2019. So we met a urban farmers and also artists from India called Vivek and Julia Cariappa from Quackadonna Organic Farm. And from then, we start to exploring how color and how seeds can be utilized in our museum planning. And here are the objectives of the program. TaDA has always been promoting social cohesion through cross-disciplinary and creative experiences. Through conducting research into different historical or social issues that is rooted in Hong Kong, as well as exploring cultural diversity and reflecting on their respective challenges, we always invite artists to pair up with diverse communities, especially with underrepresented or less privileged groups, to collaborate in a series of co-creative process. So to achieve social cohesion goal, we always include everyone in the co-creation process and make sure there are multi-dimensional connections that can build in the community. At the same time, we also target to facilitate individual empowerment by exploring issues of identity, cultural inheritance, and emotional connection faced by various groups. Last but not least, we will also like to improve the quality of life by advocating sustainable living. We will raise awareness of the relationship between the nature and our living environments through urban farming and the usage of natural materials in the process of creations. So here are the background, and this is why Chat as a very young museums, we are stepping into our 7 years this year. We would like to start this program ever since we started. In Hong Kong, actually, in every 10 seconds, there's over 200 garments end up in the landfill. So the impact of fast fashion and the overconsumption issues are very alarming. At the same time, there's also limited awareness of the interconnection between nature and textile. For instance, I still remember I asked a very young visitors of Chat and asked her, do you know where is your garment come from? And her answer is, it's come from the mall, it's come from the shops. So a lot of people never consider where does the color or the fibers come from. As such, we want to ask this question together with our participants. How can local resources and interdisciplinary knowledge be integrated to achieve common goals, especially our sustainability goals? In what ways can arts be leveraged to envision a sustainable future? And how can we cultivate and sustain an environmental conscious community? Here are the methodology. So through weaving these multiple threads of artists, designers, curators, and students, and of course, our retired workers and our textile industry practitioners, we envision that we can create a more engaged total experience that invites everyone, not just as an observer, but as a maker and as a co-creator. So through co-curate, co-learn, and collaborate, TaDA program can build an inclusive community by sharing the power to all the stakeholders in the society. So this is the process of how it was done. So every year we start with the same structure, drawing from the inspiration from the natural life cycle of plants, which we will do the seeding in spring, do the making in summer, and harvest in winter time. This program exactly taking this structure in the execution. First of all, in every spring, we will start inviting and pairing up artists to grow, planting natural dyes. And of course, in the process, we also invite a lot of community members, including students and diverse community members to join us. Secondly, we also invite these communities, which we call them seeders. They are the participants, but they are also the people who spread the seed. So we will also invite the seeders to visit local farms and to forage the existing natural resources. For example, Chinese indigo that are already wildly grown in the outskirts of the city. And we can also forage kapok in the middle of the city. Then we will invite our collaborating artists to design a series of workshops, while our seeders and the public can involve in the artwork and textile making process. As you can see in the third picture here, we oftentimes also transform our gallery into a co-making space to lower the boundaries of making. So everyone passed by and entering our museum can take part in the co-making process. Last but not least, in winter time, we will have a collaborative exhibition and celebrate the results. Over the past 6 years, we have always collaborated with various artists and communities. However, the foundation of the program always stays in indigo. For instance, you can see from 2021, we start nurturing Indian indigo in Hong Kong soil. And then we try to also nurture them at our rooftop farm in the middle of the city in the 2022. In 2023, we try to leverage it and broaden our audience. So we start to collaborate with local schools and start to nurturing these natural dyes plants in 3 local primary school farms. In 2024, we also start with the creativity of the artists. We build up large-scale landscape sculptures in the community farms and use that as not just an artwork, but also as the growing frame for the plants to grow vibrantly. And this year, happening right now, we are now cultivating these natural dyes plant and indigo plants at a village school in Hong Kong. But over time, our work has yielded abundant results. Beyond creating just large-scale collaborative artworks, we have also developed a series of distinctive indigo workshops for the public, sharing our program results to a wider audience through our seasonal program. Additionally, we have also produced a range of merchandise, as you can see in the picture here, ranging from indigo dye scarf, garments to instant stick, that are all made with indigo. Through the creativity of our collaborative artists, we have discovered that the remarkable versatility of indigo, it serves not just as a pigment for drawing, but also as a paint that can be suitable for multiple materials. For instance, at the last picture you can see here, we work with Hong Kong artist collective Mudwork to co-create this wooden dyeing carts with primary and secondary school students. This wooden cart is now part of our museum collection, and every year we will make use of it as an outreach tool to take this cart in the middle of the city and to host outdoor dyeing workshops in the middle of the city as well. So over the past few years, we have accumulated many knowledges on how to grow this natural color. And one of the core learnings we have are how to grow these indigo plants. Well, when we talk about indigo plants, there are actually over 600 indigo-bearing plants around the world. They are not from the same family, but it just means that they have in common the presence of indican, which is the blue pigment, precursor molecule that exists among them. And at TaDA, we have been using several types of indigo-bearing plants for our indigo fats. Currently, we have been growing indigo in Indian indigo, also harvesting wildly grown Chinese indigo, and growing a small amount of Japanese indigo just for experimentation purposes. And as the concentration of pigment in indigo-bearing plants are very significantly decreased over the time when the plants start to flower, it is very crucial for us to carefully determine the harvesting time. This consideration is a key reason why we structure our program around the natural growth cycle of the plants. By doing so, the program not just aligns with the ecological rhythm, but also convey an important educational message, which is humans must learn to observe, respect, and harmonize with the nature process. Another major learnings is how to harvest and harness our natural resources in cultivating the indigo fats. Indigo pigment does not dissolve in water, thus a very special dye fat needs to be prepared. At TaDA, we have our own textile team and a TaDA studio that we nurture our 100% toxic-free organic indigo fats. As you can see, after we harvest the indigo leaves, we will also use some oyster shell that we collect from the communities that can create an alkaline environment for the fats. At the same time, we also need to reduce the oxygen in the fats. And in our process, we use a lot of food waste, for instance, like banana skin or orange skin to provide fructose for the fats so that it can reduce the oxygen and also reduce the bacteria in the fats. And why are we always stick with this color and why it is important? First, of course, as I mentioned before, the origin of this program started as a gift from India. And in fact, indigo comes from the Latino word indicum, meaning Indian, as the natural-based dye was originally exported to Europe and to the rest of the world from India. So it is not just only connected us to the ancient tradition of indigo dyeing, but also as a practice that has a centuries of history across Asia and inspired us to explore the cultural significance of this color. Secondly, indigo also holds profound history significance to Hong Kong, particularly through denim manufacturing. From the 1960s to the 80s, Hong Kong was a global leader in textile and denim production. The denim industry fueled our economic growth, providing countless jobs and shaping our city identity. The mills which Chet located at was also a former textile spinning mills, which the majority of the cotton yarn goes to denim making. By having this indigo dye program, it can be function as a symbol of Hong Kong resilience, innovation, and hardworking spirit. Thirdly, it is also highly rooted in our Hakka culture. The Hakka is a unique subgroup of the Han Chinese who primarily settled in the southeastern part of China. They arrived in Hong Kong after the Great Clearance in the 1661, brought with them a long tradition of weaving and indigo dyeing. They have been using Chinese indigo and growing it in the mountains and rivers in Hong Kong. So this revival of this practice helped preserve our Hong Kong unique cultural identity, as well as the ecological awareness that link to our Chinese culture. Also, indigo represents workers' blue. This color has been worn by generations of factory workers. By focusing on indigo, we aim to honor the heritage of the mills, as well as to celebrate our Hong Kong industrial roots. Last but not least, growing indigo is also ecologically friendly. The indigo dyeing process is eco-friendly as a zero-toxic option to toxic textile dyes, while it also growing Chinese indigo is beneficial for the soil because it is a leguminous plant, meaning it can fix the nitrogen in the soil through a symbiotic relationship with nitrogen-fixing bacteria in its roots. So this process has enriched the soil by increasing its nitrogen content and provide the soil with fertility and supports the growth of other plants. It makes the indigo the perfect subject matters for the museum education and for us to communicate our sustainability mission. Over the past 6 years, we have been collaborating with a lot of local and international artists, with a lot of schools and community partners. Over 400 seeders has been nurtured, and over 160,000 people have been enjoying the collaborative results. Together, we have cultivated a very strong supporting network and connect valuable resources within our communities. We have explored and expanded the conventional meanings of textile arts and materials, pushing the boundaries of what is possible. And most importantly, we have fostered an eco-friendly communities that is committed to make a positive impact on both people and environment. So last but not least, as the future and our anticipation for the program, City Textile is more than just a program to us, but it is a network of how arts, education, and communities can come together to create lasting and sustainable impact. It invites each of us to reconnect with the natural world, to explore the deeper meanings of the materials and the color that shapes our lives, and to contribute to a future where creativity and sustainability can go hands in hands. Of course, we recognizing that our younger generation is the future, we're also committed to dedicate this program to our younger generation and hope that they can spread the seed for us. So hopefully this is just the beginning, and we will continue this collaborate, co-learning, and community building process. If you want to know more, feel free to connect with us, and I look forward to seeing you take part in our Sit to Textile mission. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Eugenia, for this very interesting presentation, which collects actually like educational program going into society and research in the end. Are there any questions from the audience right now? Otherwise, looking at the watch, I suggest we just go to the next presentation, and I think I will have a question for you after the next presentation, where we can collect one. Thank you so much, Eugenia.